The architecture of a lot of homes today aren't designed for children, but rather for resale value, efficient construction, and photographs that look good online. But children experience a home completely differently. To them, the staircase is a mountain, a hallway becomes a racetrack. So in today's video, I want to discuss 5 design features I think every family home could benefit from having. So whether you're buying a property, renovating, or simply collecting ideas for the future, knowing these principles can help you create a house that works better for every single member of your family. If this is the first time you've seen my face, I'm BaiXu, a licensed architect who trained at Cambridge University. I'm someone who loves designs and condensing all of that information into entertaining but also practical videos on my YouTube channel. Every family home should have a loop, a path that lets you walk through the main rooms in a continuous circle. If you've been around children, you've probably watched with amazement as they run around literally non-stop with energy I would love to have. And if your layout lets them do that, then the house becomes far more child-friendly because instead of suppressing that energy, you give it somewhere to go. Sarah Suzanka discusses this beautifully in her book, The Not So Big House. She basically says that children are bundles of energy, and when they're little, they want to be wherever the action is, usually right next to you. So when she's designing for a young family, she tries to make sure there is a loop somewhere in the floor plan of the house, preferably close to the kitchen and family gathering areas. So if you're looking at the floor plan of your property, ask one simple question: where can we remove a single wall or add a door to create a circuit around the home? Take this terrace house. The ground floor has a living room, dining room, and kitchen, but they're all separate rooms. So if you superimpose how people actually move in the space, the flow is quite restrictive. So it will be a pretty easy change to open up the walls here. Then you can see that immediately you create a loop around the home. If you've ever watched your kids ignore that beautiful playroom and instead drag every single toy they own into the kitchen, you already know the reason. Because the kitchen is where things are actually happening. For a long time, that's just how most homes worked. Cooking, eating, talking, or working all happened in the same room. Kids played under the table or nearby because that's where the adults were. So the best case scenario is if we could all have a large farmhouse style kitchen. You have a big table in the middle, counters and stove around the edges of the space, maybe even space for a comfortable chair or so. The whole point is that family life and kitchen work can happen in the same space. But of course, this is not a reality for a lot of people, including myself, because I live in a very expensive area where the real estate is really unaffordable. So it's just not feasible to have such a big kitchen. But there are other solutions. You don't need to knock down all the walls or create one giant open space to get the benefit. The practical version is a bit simpler, which is to just partially open your kitchen to the room next to it so you can see each other while you cook. So instead of knocking down that entire wall, you use French doors or pocket doors that can stay open most of the time when you need to have this visual connection, but close when you want to contain the noise or smells. Maybe you can add an interior window between the kitchen and the adjacent room instead. You can also create a wide opening or a half wall with a pass-through. And I think instead, having a kitchen that's partially openable with good sightlines usually works much better for real family life. Most homes are designed with windows that look out, but very few have good openings that look through the house itself. Children play longest and most happily when their world stays visually connected to their caretakers, so why would we not want to build this in? You as an adult can also check whether they're climbing bookshelves or eating the dog's food. Before you knock down every wall and make the whole house one open visible space, please don't. Visibility is wonderful, but with no defined zones, you lose all sense of shelter, coziness, and acoustic privacy. Ideally, what a house with children should have is strategic sightlines. When you're looking at the layout of your house, just imagine where, as an adult, you're most likely to spend a lot of time, and where your children might be likely to spend a lot of time, and whether there is some way you can put in a connection between these spaces. From where you're working in the kitchen, do you have a clear sightline into where the kids are most likely to play or hang out? If you have a home office, is there a way for you to keep an eye on the main living space? And from where you spend a lot of time on the sofa, can you also see into the play area without having to get up? If there are rooms that don't need full privacy, like a playroom or home office that isn't used for private calls, consider replacing a solid door with one that has internal glass panels. This lets light and sightlines through while still giving you the option to close it when needed. If you really do private stuff in your office, maybe you can also add curtains on the inside of the glazing. If you really want to play around with layouts, I would really recommend Rayon Design, who's also sponsoring today's video. Rayon Design is a CAD platform that's built for interior designers and architects, or just someone who's interested in floor plans. It's simple to use and frictionless to start. You don't have to download it, it's fully web-based, so you just open it and start designing. You don't have to bounce between multiple programs for drawing, rendering, presentations, schedules anymore, because it condenses all of that into one platform. You can import your existing files or start from scratch, create technical drawings, schematic designs, detailed millwork, and transform all of these into client-ready presentations without ever leaving Rayon Design. No more exporting, importing, reformatting. There's a library of over 10,000 CAD blocks with top, front, and side views, including parametric blocks that you can adjust right into your layout. Or you can generate custom ones using their AI panel from images with text prompts, explore different materials and finishes, and do transformations that would normally take forever in seconds. And you can apply custom properties to elements in your drawings and automatically generate linked tables for specs, quantities, and cost summaries. So you don't have to manually update procurement lists anymore because it just does it automatically. I love automatic workflows. If someone can only edit my videos automatically. And because it's cloud-based, your whole team, if you have any, can collaborate in real time from the same source. So if you want to try it out for free, I've put the link in the description below. When designed well, a staircase can become a sociable, interesting space in a home for children. Children sit on the steps to learn how to tie their shoelaces. It becomes a stage for them to show off their outfits, or they sit on the bottom steps with a family dog to watch you pulling up to the driveway. But that only works if the staircase is designed to be part of the room and not hidden away like a vertical corridor. Literally so many non-residential buildings have cool designs where the staircases double as seating areas. And if you're fortunate enough to have the space, why do we not do this in our homes? So here are the things you can do to make it more special. First, let it be visible and not hidden away behind solid walls and doors. Use open materials, balustrades, partial walls, or even cutouts can help it stay visually connected to the room. And the first few steps are especially important. They're where people tend to gather, so widen them, flare them out, let them double as seats. And if you can, place windows near landings or along the stair run. How are the children supposed to see you if there is no window? In a potentially very noisy family home, if the layout makes sense and the room shape allows it, I would always put storage on the walls between rooms. When you do this, two useful things happen. First, it reduces noise. A closet full of clothes and boxes creates a soft barrier that absorbs sound. If you put it between the bedroom and the noisier parts of the house, you get a bit of free soundproofing. So maybe you can watch your horror movies just a little bit more noisily at night. Second, it makes the room feel a little bit more distinct. The storage thickens the walls around the doorway, so the threshold feels a bit more intentional. So when you have closet between the bedroom and the family area, you just feel like you're stepping into a more private space. So if possible, avoid putting closets on exterior walls because it wastes the opportunity for good acoustic insulation, a heightened sense of privacy, and cuts out precious light from the windows. If this video made sense to you, you might want to look at some common layout mistakes that people often make in a home, so you don't have to make the same ones. Bye!